Hi, everyone. Welcome to Learn English Through Podcast. I'm Emma.
And I'm Jack. Today we have a really practical topic, how to talk at the bank in English.
That's right, Jack. Visiting a bank can feel a bit intimidating, especially if English isn't your first language. But don't worry, we'll guide you through common situations, questions, and phrases.
Let's start with a very basic scenario, entering the bank. Imagine you walk into a bank and the first person you see is the receptionist or a teller.
You might say, "Hello, I'd like to speak with someone about opening an account."
Or if you have a specific question, you can say, "Hi, I need some help with my account, please." Simple and polite.
Politeness is key in English, especially in professional settings like banks. You can also use, "Good morning. Could you help me, please?"
Exactly. And once you approach the teller, they usually greet you first. Something like, "How can I help you today?"
At this point, you should clearly explain your purpose. For example, "I'd like to deposit some money into my account."
Or, "I want to withdraw cash, please." Keep it short and clear.
Now, let's talk about opening a new bank account. This is a common reason people visit banks. When you ask to open an account, the teller may ask for some documents.
Right. They might say, "Can I see your ID and proof of address?"
Here, ID means your identification card, like a passport or driver's license.
Proof of address could be a utility bill or a rental contract.
And when you hand over your documents, you can say, "Here's my ID and a recent utility bill."
That's perfect. Then the teller might ask, "Do you want a savings account or a checking account?"
Let's pause here for a second. Many learners get confused between these two. A checking account is usually for daily transactions, paying bills or withdrawing money frequently.
And a savings account is for storing money and earning interest over time. So it's important to know the difference before you answer.
Once you decide, you can reply, "I'd like to open a checking account, please." Or, "I prefer a savings account." After this, they may ask about your initial deposit. A common question is, "How much would you like to deposit today?"
You can answer simply, "I'd like to deposit $500, or whatever amount you have in mind.
Great! So that covers the basics of opening an account. But there are other common situations, like asking about your balance or transferring money.
Yes, and each situation has its own set of phrases. For example, if you want to check your balance, you can say, "Could you tell me my current account balance?"
And if you want to transfer money, you might say, "I'd like to transfer $200 to my friend's account, please."
Notice how we always use polite language, please, could you, and so on. It makes the conversation smoother and friendlier.
Absolutely. And don't worry if you make mistakes. Bank staff are used to helping people with English, and they'll understand you.
Now, before we continue, let's take a small pause and imagine a real-life situation. You're standing at the counter. What's the first thing you should say?
That's right. Greet the teller, clearly state your purpose, and keep it polite. Simple, clear, and confident.
All right, now let's imagine you want to withdraw money from your account. This is something people do every day, so it's important to know the right phrases.
When you reach the teller, you can start with, "I'd like to withdraw some cash, please."
They might ask, "How much would you like to withdraw?"
Then you simply reply, "I'd like to withdraw $300, or whatever amount you need."
Sometimes banks may ask, "Do you want it in small bills or large bills?" This is about the denominations of the cash.
If you prefer smaller bills, you can say, "Small bills, please." For larger bills, simply, "Large bills, thank you."
Another common scenario is depositing cash or checks. You can say, "I'd like to deposit this check, please."
And if you're depositing cash, just say, "I'd like to deposit $200 in cash."
The teller might ask for your account number. In that case, you can respond, "My account number is 12345678.
It's always good to double-check the teller repeats the amount or account number back to you so there are no mistakes. You can ask, "Could you please confirm the amount?"
Banks also offer services like transferring money to another account, either within the same bank or to a different bank. You can say, "I want to transfer $150 to my friend's account at another bank."
They may ask for details such as the recipient's name, account number, and bank code. You can respond clearly. The account number is 87654321, the recipient's name is Sarah Lee, and the bank code is 102.
It's important to speak slowly and clearly, especially when giving numbers. Miscommunication can cause delays.
Now, what if you want to ask about fees or charges? You could say, could you explain the fees for international transfers? Or, are there any charges for using this service?
That's a useful question because banks often have different fees depending on the type of transaction.
Let's not forget about online banking. If you want help setting it up, you can ask, can you help me register for online banking?
The bank staff might guide you to fill out a form or give you a temporary password. You can then ask, how do I change my password later?
For safety, always ask, are there any security tips I should know when using online banking?
Another situation is if you notice a problem with your account. For example, if a transaction doesn't match your records. You could say, I noticed a charge on my account that I don't recognize. Could you help me investigate it?
Always remain polite, even if you're worried. A calm tone makes communication easier.
Yes, you might hear phrases like, we'll check and get back to you within 24 hours. Or, could you provide more details about the transaction?
And if you need a receipt for a transaction, simply say, could I have a receipt, please?
Receipts are important for keeping track of your finances. It's a very common question at the bank.
Another useful phrase is asking about interest rates. You might say, could you tell me the interest rate for a savings account?
They may respond with something like, the current interest rate is 3% per year.
You can then ask follow-up questions like, is this rate fixed or variable?
And if you plan to deposit a large sum, it's helpful to ask, are there any limits on deposits or withdrawals?
That's true. Banks have rules for large transactions, and it's always better to clarify in advance. Another important topic at the bank is credit and debit cards. Many people use cards for daily purchases, so knowing how to ask about them is helpful.
For example, if you want to apply for a debit card, you could say, I'd like to apply for a debit card linked to my account.
Or if you want a credit card, simply, can I apply for a credit card, please?
The bank staff may ask about your income or employment details, especially for credit cards. You can respond with, I earn $3,000 per month and I am employed full-time.
If you already have a card but it's lost or stolen, it's important to report it immediately. You could say, I lost my debit card. Could you block it, please?
Or if the card was stolen, my card was stolen. I need to cancel it and request a new one.
Banks usually ask for identification to process this, so have your ID ready.
Now let's cover loans. If you want to ask about a personal loan, you might say, could you give me information about personal loans?
The teller may ask about the amount you want to borrow and your repayment plan. You can reply, I would like to borrow $5,000 and repay it over 12 months.
For a mortgage or home loan, you could say, I'm interested in a mortgage. Can you explain the process and interest rates?
Banks often provide brochures or online links with detailed information. Don't hesitate to ask for written materials.
Another practical scenario is scheduling appointments. You can ask, can I schedule an appointment with a financial advisor?
Or, I would like to meet with someone about my investment options.
Some banks require appointments for more complex matters, so this phrase can save time.
Handling customer support over the phone or at the bank is also common. You can say, I have a question about my account statement.
Or if you want to clarify a transaction, could you explain this charge on my account, please?
Sometimes banks have special services for seniors or students. You might ask, do you have any accounts with benefits for students?
Or, are there any special accounts for senior citizens?
If you want to update your personal information, such as your address or phone number, you can say, I need to update my contact details.
The teller may ask, could you provide your new address and phone number? You can then state your details clearly.
For security reasons, banks often ask for verification questions. Be prepared to answer, what is your date of birth? Or, can you confirm your account password or PIN?
Another useful situation is setting up automatic payments. You can say, I'd like to set up automatic bill payments for my electricity and water bills.
The teller may ask, would you like these payments to be monthly or quarterly? You can reply based on your preference.
Banks also help with international transactions. You can ask, how can I send money to another country?
Or, what are the fees for international wire transfers? It's good to be aware of exchange rates and processing times.
For business owners, banks offer special services. You could ask, do you provide business accounts or merchant services?
And if you need a loan for your business, can I apply for a business loan? What are the requirements?
Sometimes you may encounter problems at the bank. For example, if a transaction doesn't go through or your account shows the wrong balance, you can start by saying, "I think there's an error on my account. Could you help me check it?"
The bank staff might ask for details. You can respond, I withdrew $200 yesterday, but my account balance hasn't changed.
Always keep calm and provide all necessary information. You could also ask, "How long will it take to resolve this issue?"
Another situation is when your debit or credit card isn't working. You can say, my card is not working. Can you check why?
They may ask, "Is it being declined at a specific machine or online?" Provide accurate details to make the process faster.
If you want to dispute a transaction, you can use, I'd like to dispute this charge on my account. Can you guide me through the process?
Banks usually provide forms to fill out and may take a few days to investigate. Always ask, "When can I expect an update?"
Moving on to mobile or online banking, you can ask for assistance like, how do I download the bank's mobile app?
Once installed, you may want to activate features. You could say, "Can you help me set up notifications for my account?"
Another useful question is, how can I transfer money using the mobile app?
Staff can guide you step by step. If you forget your password or PIN, you can say, "I forgot my online banking password. Could you reset it for me?"
Banks often verify your identity before making changes. You may need to answer security questions or provide an ID.
Some customers want to set up recurring payments for subscriptions. You can ask, "Can I schedule automatic monthly payments for my internet service?"
It's also important to ask, is there a limit to the amount I can pay automatically?
Another scenario is closing an account. You can politely say, "I would like to close my account. What is the procedure?"
The teller may ask, do you want the remaining balance in cash or transferred to another account? You can respond according to your preference.
If the account has pending transactions, the bank may advise, "Please wait until all pending payments are cleared."
Banks also provide assistance with statements. You could ask, could I get a printed copy of my account statement for the last 6 months?
Or, "Can you email me the statement instead?" Many banks offer both options.
Another useful phrase is inquiring about interest or rewards programs. Do you have any rewards programs for debit or credit card users?
Some banks offer points or cashback. You can ask, "How can I redeem my rewards points?"
For people traveling abroad, you can say, can I use my card internationally? Are there any foreign transaction fees?
And if you plan to travel, it's a good idea to notify the bank. "I'm traveling to France next month. Can you ensure my card works there?"
Some banks also provide financial advice. You can ask, could I speak with a financial advisor about saving and investing?
Staff may schedule an appointment and provide guidance tailored to your needs.
Another scenario is requesting a bank reference or letter. For example, I need a bank reference letter for my visa application. Can you prepare it?
The teller may ask how quickly you need it and in what format. You can reply clearly, "I need it by next week in print or PDF format."
Another common situation is using ATMs. If you're at an ATM for the first time, you might ask, how do I withdraw cash from this machine?
The bank staff or instructions on the screen will guide you. You can also ask, can I deposit cash using this ATM?
Sometimes ATMs have limits. You could ask, what is the daily withdrawal limit for my account?
And if the ATM keeps your card by mistake, you should inform the bank immediately. The ATM retained my card. What should I do?
Many banks also provide foreign currency exchange. You can say, I'd like to exchange $500 for euros, please.
They might ask, do you want the current exchange rate or a fixed rate?
If you plan to travel, it's smart to ask, are there any fees for exchanging currency?
Handling multiple accounts is another situation. You might say, I have 2 accounts. Can you transfer money from my checking account to my savings account?
Or if you want to check balances, you could ask, could you tell me the balances of both my accounts?
For joint accounts, it's important to clarify who is authorized. You might ask, can both account holders withdraw money independently?
Some customers want to set up notifications for transactions. You can ask, can I receive a text message whenever a deposit is made?
Or, can I get email alerts for withdrawals above $100?
Safety is another important topic. You can ask, what precautions should I take to protect my account?
Banks often advise on strong passwords, not sharing PINs, and checking statements regularly. You could ask, how often should I review my account activity?
Another useful phrase is asking about bank hours. What time does the bank open and close?
Some branches may have special hours for seniors or business clients. You can ask, do you have separate hours for business customers?
If you need to make an urgent payment, you can ask, Is there a way to process this payment today?
Some transactions take time, but bank staff may offer express options.
Another scenario is when you need help understanding bank forms. You could say, "Can you explain how to fill out this form?"
Or, I don't understand this section. Could you clarify it?
Sometimes banks offer special accounts for young adults or students. You could ask, "Are there accounts with lower fees for students?"
Or, are there any benefits for young adult savers?
If you want to set up a direct debit for rent or utilities, you can say, "I'd like to set up a monthly direct debit for my rent payment."
The teller will likely ask for your landlord's account details. You can respond clearly. The account number is 56789012, and the bank code is 205.
Another situation is requesting help with interest calculations. You could ask, "Could you explain how interest is calculated on my savings account?"
Some banks provide charts or online tools to show how much you can earn over time.
Finally, if you want to confirm all details before leaving, you can say, "Could you review all the transactions and changes I made today?"
This ensures there are no mistakes and gives you peace of mind.
One of the most important things at the bank is speaking clearly and politely. Using words like please, thank you, and could you makes a big difference.
You can also repeat key details, like account numbers or amounts, to make sure there's no confusion. For example, I'd like to transfer $250 to account 12345678. Could you confirm this?
Pausing slightly after each important piece of information helps the teller understand you better, especially when giving numbers or foreign names.
Another tip is to keep your sentences short and simple. Instead of saying, "I'm wondering if it would be possible for you to help me transfer this money to my friend's account at another bank," you can simply say, "I want to transfer $200 to my friend's account."
If you don't understand something, it's completely fine to ask for clarification. You can say, "Could you repeat that slowly, please?" Or, "I didn't understand this part. Could you explain it again?"
For people who feel nervous, practicing these phrases before visiting the bank can really help. You might rehearse, "I'd like to open a savings account," or "Could you help me deposit this check?"
Another way to feel confident is by knowing the vocabulary. Words like deposit, withdrawal, balance, transfer, interest, fee, and statement are very common.
Using these words correctly makes the conversation smoother and shows you understand the banking process.
Don't forget to ask for receipts whenever you complete a transaction. Saying, "Could I have a receipt, please?" is simple but important for record keeping.
You can also politely end a conversation by saying, "Thank you for your help. Have a great day."
If you ever feel unsure, remember that bank staff are there to assist you. They are used to helping people with different levels of English.
So take your time, speak clearly, and don't be afraid to ask questions.
Another useful tip is to organize your documents before you go. Have your ID, proof of address, account numbers, and any forms ready. This saves time and avoids confusion.
Writing down the phrases you might need is also helpful. For example, "I'd like to check my balance," or "Could you help me set up online banking?"
Using polite language, being prepared, and speaking slowly will make any visit to the bank easier and less stressful.
Remember, practice makes perfect. The more you use these phrases, the more natural they will feel.
That's everything for today's episode. We've covered greetings, deposits, withdrawals, transfers, loans, online banking, ATM interactions, foreign currency, multiple accounts, safety tips, and polite communication.
With these phrases and tips, you'll feel confident when speaking English at the bank.
Thank you for listening to Learn English through podcast. Keep practicing these phrases and your next visit to the bank will be smooth and stress-free.
Don't forget to subscribe for more practical English lessons and useful conversations.
See you in the next episode, and happy banking!